Welcome back to Satisfactory 1.0. Where we left off on our previous episode is we got the chainsaw, and I've gone ahead and cleared out a bunch of stuff, gotten us some materials so that we can, if you look at my inventory, I've got a bunch of leaves and I got a bunch of wood. We're going to build a biomass factory, hopefully in this episode. But before we do that, in the last episode I mentioned the scanner, which I didn't even talk about other than saying, hey, we get a scanner. So let's look at the scanner for a second. If you go to the workshop, you can build a scanner. It takes reinforced iron plates, some wire, and some screws. So we'll just build one. And we'll look at it. So we'll equip it, put it in our hand slot. And now if we load that guy up, we can scan for various things. We can scan for barrel nuts, which is telling me, hey, there's some barrel nuts over here, kind of pointing me the way. And as you see a little bar at the bottom of it, as it gets bigger, as we get closer to it, it's telling us there's some over here. And we'll go find those real quick. Oops, some are over this way. Well, did I pass them up? Oh, right there they are, look at that. And there's our barrel nuts, and we'll go ahead and harvest those, but I don't have enough space for them, so we won't harvest those. Alright, so what we can do also is we can change what we're scanning for. I'm going to right click, and I can just scan for mushrooms. No mushrooms close. I can right click again, I can scan for power slugs, and there's not any that are close enough for this guy to pick up. And as we progress through the game, there'll be other things that we can scan for. We'll be able to scan for, but right now those are the three things that we can scan for. And that's all basically because we did some research in the MAM on those items and we were able to find them. So I'm going to re-equip my chainsaw, and for now I'm just going ahead and drop the scanner in here because I'm loaded up on materials. We also started a hard drive scanning, and with that hard drive scan, let's see what the results are. We'll get a choice of two things. We get iron wire,
hard drive analysis
or we get
completed. Alternative recipe
6
selection
inventory
available
slots.
in the MAM.
So we get to pick one of these, or we can hold it in our library for a while. We can rescan this hard drive one more time, and it'll give us another thing. Right now, I'm tempted to pick the inventory slots up, but we'll get more inventory slots up in a little bit. The iron wire is kind of a nice thing to have. I was really hoping to get cast screws, which would help us to make screws directly out of iron without having to make rods. We can make rods from iron ingots directly. So I'm probably going to do a little bit of searching here for hard drives and see if we can find another one and do a scan. So for now, I'm just going to go ahead and pick the iron wire because we will definitely take advantage of that not in the not too distant future. Of course, as we get more and more hard drives, we'll scan those and get more and more alternate recipes. Also, while I was out, let me see if I can find some real quick over here. See those little cactus looking things? You can take those out with your chainsaw. Well, let me just show you real quick. Yeah, we'll go here. I got enough inventory space here. But when you do this, they'll give you mycelia, leaves, and wood. So there, real quick. And I picked up 5 mycelia, leaves, and wood. And of course, when I was doing some cleanup between episodes, I took down a few of those to kind of make our initial plant area, which is this area all up in here, clean. Removed a bunch of those cacti, and in the process I picked up a bunch of these mycelia. So I'm going to go ahead and put our wood and our leaves in there for a moment, and then we have some more we can do with the MAM here on the mycelia tree. Before we didn't have enough to get the fabric item researched, but now we do. So let's go ahead and research that, and then we will see what we can do with that here. Alright, so now we can just scroll down a little bit. If we had steel pipes and some coal, we could make a gas mask, which, remember that plant that popped up that was spitting out that gas at us? We could walk around that without taking any damage. Also, we haven't encountered any of these yet, but there's some pillars that also just generate gas, and we can take those out as well. With we can walk through all that as well once we get that. Don't have any. Well, we do have some of these from. Nope, we don't have any of these. So take it back. So different playthrough where I had some of those. So we will definitely get those soon. We can make synthetic polyester fiber from fabric and from polymer resin. We don't have that yet because we're not in the oil producing phase. I didn't mean to get out of there and apologize. But we could expand our tool belt if we had 50 of these fabrics and 100 rotors. We're not making rotors yet. That'll be hopefully one of the things we're going to do for this episode. But this right here is really what I wanted, is the parachute. So we're going to search the parachute, but we have to get 10 of these fabrics. So let's go quickly make a handful of those. To make these right now, I'm going to again handcraft these because these are kind of a one-off type of thing. I don't make a lot of stuff with fabric. Maybe you can as we move through the game, but at the beginning for sure you don't make a whole lot. I'm gonna make, I don't know, what have we got here? I'll just go ahead and finish off. To make fabric, it takes biomass and mycelia. I happen to have a couple of biomass stacks set aside for this as I was planning for this episode. So we'll burn through these here in just a moment, and then we'll go research that, and then we will make us a parachute, and then kind of play with that for a minute. So let's research parachute, which is under mycelia, and start research. And we can make a parachute here in just a moment. Now we'll go make a parachute, but to do that we have to go to the workshop. And to make a parachute is going to take the fabric that we just made and some cable. And we happen to have enough to make 2, but we only need 1. So we'll make one of these. Now let's open up our inventory. Remember tab. If you're not playing the game, that's how you do it. We have a parachute here, and we can equip it in our back slot. So if I take this parachute here and drop it there, we can have it in our back slot. I'm going to go ahead and drop the mycelia off there because we're not going to use any of that right at the moment. And now I'll tell you what, let's do. Let's go make a tower and jump off the tower. And I know there's a cliff over here, so we will put it on the edge of the cliff, and you can kind of see what happens here. So we're going to pull up our toolbar. Number 0 is where we put it. Drop that guy down there, climb up to the top, and we're going to jump off. And when we jump off, we're going to hit the space bar, which will deploy our parachute, and to undeploy it, to pull it back in, to whatever, to basically to take the parachute off but not lose it, because this is reusable. You'll hit the C button, C as in cat. So we're going to jump off, hit the space bar, and then we're going to float down for a little bit. Now we kind of see our parachute up there. We can use our arrow keys. We can hold shift to go a little faster or slower. It kind of runs with the walk because I'm toggling on that. Now this is one thing you can do. I'm going to hover over this guy. If you bounce, if you kind of land on these things, you'll bounce. So I'm going to hit C on top of him here. I'm going to land on it. Whoops, I missed him. Ooh. Well, I can't show you that because I just completely missed him. But if I had done it right, I would have landed on him and we would have bounced a little bit, which would have been kind of fun, just to show you. But as you can see, I'm a horrible aim with a parachute. And I'm going to run back up to the top here, and we will move on to the next objective. Okay, we're back at our base, basically, and one thing I did that I didn't tell you about is this was making biomass. We had leaves feeding into here, making biomass and sticking the biomass over here. I have since converted this to take our biomass that we banked up over here, loaded our biomass into here, and now I am making solid biofuel, and it's coming out into here. So we've been running that for a little bit. And remember, use solid biofuel for your chainsaw and for your biomass burners. It burns way more efficiently than all the other things we have. We'll select this. Biomass burns at 2.6 per minute, and you can see the other ones how they burn much faster. So this is definitely more fuel efficient. Get away from those things because those are kind of loud. I tried to adjust the volume. I'm not sure that I did a good job of it, but I tried. So now we have a parachute, and we can float around without jump off of high cliffs and high places, or fall from high places without hurting ourselves if we deploy our chute, and we should be good. One other thing that I did is I ran around and I made sure that all of our plants were running at 100% efficiency. Doesn't mean they're running at full capacity, but they're running at 100% efficiency. And I wanted to show you this because this is the goal that we kind of want. See that nice little flat line right there? This is our production. All of our production equipment running right now is using 59.3 megawatts. I don't know why I can't say that word. Then our our maximum consumption that we would do is 59.3, and we're consuming 59.3. Of course, we still have 130 megawatts capacity, and so we're doing pretty good with that. One thing that I wanted to do before we build our biomass plant, that is to get the next tier up on our radar here, our next milestone, excuse me. I want to get Logistics Mark II because it'll give us conveyor belts. Mark II, which lets us do 120 resources a minute. Right now, our only belts that we have do 60 resources a minute. So I want to get that, and I want to get the resource sync bonus program. Excuse me, and we'll get the awesome sync and the awesome shot, and then we'll be able to start to customize and build up our factories and our bases. And I also want to get parts assembly as well, so we can actually start making rotors, and then we can start to actually really build out our plant here pretty quickly, and start to get a whole bunch of automation going on, so that we can get past tier 2, finish up tier 2, get the space elevator built, and then we'll have to, from the space elevator, it's going to require us to make smart plating, so we'll kind of get smart plating going. All of that will not happen in this episode. However, we will probably get these 3 milestones completed, because I do believe we have enough resources on hand to complete this. In fact, I may have enough resources in our inventory right now, but let's just check. We'll do this parts assembly one. We'll select the milestone, load it up with stuff. Oops, I'm short 50 screws, so if you will bear with me one moment, I will be back, and I will have our 50 screws in hand, and we will load this off and send this off. Okay, I did go ahead and pick up a handful of screws from over there. 50 we need to finish this milestone, and I got some more because we'll need some to actually make a rotor. So we'll send this milestone off, and while that's going off, I'm gonna go ahead and pick up a handful of rods and probably a few more plates. All right, that freighter is off. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. We'll go ahead and select the next milestone, although we can't send off for it just yet because we have to wait for the freighter to get back. But let's see what we got in the meantime. We'll step out here and kind of look at a couple of things. So what we should have gotten is our assembler. Assemblers take 4 rotors and 8 reinforced iron plates and some cable to make. I don't have any rotors, so I'm going to quickly handcraft a handful, and we'll make some assemblers, and we'll talk about that. I will be back in a second or 2 or 3. While I was away, I made 77 rotors. That's not true. I made like a handful of them. I did have some in inventory from that hard drive we looted. Remember, around those crash sites, sometimes you loot some various things. We had, I think it was 18 or 19 from there, so I grabbed those, which I forgot about, and then I went ahead and crafted up some. But we're going to build an assembler. So again, we'll pick the assembler, and for now we'll just drop it right here. And let's see what this guy can make for us. Oh, notice it has 2 inputs and it has 1 output. So what happens is you'll be sending 2 things into this to make various things, and of course this will grow and change in its time. One of the parts we need to make eventually is going to be smart plating, and it takes reinforced iron plates and it takes rotors. One of the other recipes is reinforced plates, which is what we're going to set up a fairly quick one for this, I think, in just a minute, and maybe in this episode. And that takes plates and screws. And then we have modular frames, which takes plates and rods, reinforced iron plates and rods. We can make fabric. Remember, it takes biomass and mycelia. We can automate that if we choose to, and rotors. At some point, we're going to make a modular frame factory, a rotor factory, a reinforced iron plate factory, and a smart plating factory. To finish out this tier, we'll need 50 smart plating. In order to make these smart plating, we'll have to use an assembler. We're not going to use it just yet, but I wanted to show you the assembler for what's going on there. Our pod is returning, and we should be able to send off for the resource sink here once it lands in 9, 8, 7 seconds, and so on. Alright, let's go ahead and run up here, get ready to load our resources so we can get the resource sink. So let's go ahead and get these resources loaded up and sent off. Alright, and then we will talk about the resource sink bonus program, because there's a couple of things here I want us to get before we really get down into base building and factory building. Alright, now that we got that milestone underway, I'm going to go ahead and prep us for the next milestone, but let's talk about the awesome sink for a minute. We're going to drop one right here for now, I guess. So again, we have some new items. In this particular case, we have the awesome shop and the awesome sink. When we have leftover items or our storage containers are full, we can send our extra stuff to the awesome sink. It'll basically grind them up, chew them up, and turn them into coupons. So we can take those coupons, spend them at the awesome shop for things that will help our factory building out along the way. So let's go ahead and drop one of these guys down for now. I'm going to go ahead, just for now, drop us a storage container so we can kind of load things into it, connect it with a belt. It does take power, so give it some power. And you'll see if I go up here to it, walk up to it and look at it, I have 0 printable coupons. The next one will be at 500 coupons. As things get stuck into it and ground up, it turns into coupons. Parts in particular get this, will change this counter, and this gets more and more and bigger to get to a next coupon. It's not like 500 for each coupon. It's 500 for the first one, maybe 1,000 for the second one, and maybe 10,000 for for the 50th one, or whatever it is. Now we can also turn our alien protein into DNA, alien DNA capsules, and we can send those through. Those are valuable right off the bat. So what I'm going to do, we happen to have, how many do we have here? We have 6. So I can make 6 of those protein things. So let me go ahead and drop a crafting station here real quick and craft our alien protein capsules, alien DNA capsules from these guys. We'll make 6 of them, and then we will drop them into our storage container, which will then feed into our awesome sink. We should be able to get maybe a handful of coupons. You'll see it start coming here. There's our capsules going. We'll come over here and I'll kind of see if I can get it this way. As they get eaten up by the awesome sink, we will get some coupons. We got 1 coupon, 2 coupons, and now the next one's 2,000. So we got, man, we're coming along. So we got 4 coupons out of that. We'll print those out in a minute. Let's go ahead and drop some of this concrete into it. Let's go ahead and drop some of these this rods into it, and why not? We'll drop some of these guys in here to it. We'll let that churn for a minute. While that is consuming those, we're going to drop down our awesome shop. And the awesome shop is where you actually spend the coupons at. So when we get our coupons, which we can do from a moment when this gets going, or when we get done with that little bit. Oh, also, before I forget, more complex parts will give you more coupons. So as we go further and further down the line, you'll be sticking more and more stuff in here because of overflowing issues. And also to help your base be even more efficient, we will then get more coupons. But for now, we have various things you can get. You can get you a hand card, you can get you a boom box, get you some nice music to rock out while you're cranking out your factories. Some other things you can get along the way, but these things are useless right off the bat to me. So here we have the things that I really want to get. I want to get this conveyor lift hole. Basically, it puts a hole in the floor where you can connect conveyors a little bit cleaner and a little bit better. Also the ceiling mounts, so you can put conveyors underneath things. As we build things up, we're going to put conveyors underneath things. And then our power, where we can put power in and on and around things without having these poles sticking out everywhere. I do like that one. Eventually we can get some signs to put on things and some more lights and some lights to put on things. Get some different kind of storage containers. A customizer, which we will use some of for sure. But we can get different color schemes to paint things different colors, foundations, the equipment. We can get some things to drop on the foundations to make them different patterns to mark off different things. We can get different kinds of foundations. You can get inverted ramps, you can get stairs, all kinds of these things. You can get different kinds of walls, or we're going to eventually get, we'll probably eventually get all of this, but right now we don't have that many coupons. So I'm going to kind of be selective. In the architecture, we have ladders. Right now we're making ramps for everything, so we can use ladders now if we get that. And we can make catwalks across things. We can make roofs, different kinds of things, railings. I don't know if you remember or not, when we were making our copper factory, I stepped off the edge of our 2-meter foundation, and I thought I fell off the cliff because I didn't have a rail up to keep me up there. So we'll probably get some rails here in a minute. And let's see, equipment. You can also get equipment, get your coffee cup, and as we get more and more down the road, this will fill up and you can actually use your coupons to buy some equipment. There's also parts you can use your coupons for as well. So with that said, let's see how many coupons we got. We got 6, so I'm going to go ahead and print our coupons. We will take that, put that in our inventory, and let's go ahead and spend those. I do know that I want to add this to my basket. That's 1 coupon. That's 2 coupons. And that's 5 coupons. And you can kind of look and see what's in your basket. It's like shopping at, one of your online stores. I think of some big online store. I don't know. The only one I can think of starts with the A. No, there's a bunch of them out there. But you can shop online. Well, shop through the Awesome Shop. And this is what you can get. So we got 5. If we use 5 coupons, we'll have 1 coupon left. I'm going to go ahead and see. I think I want to get something in the architecture. How much? Oh, ladders were 3, so I guess we won't be getting ladders. Let's get railing. I like the industrial railing, so we'll go ahead and get that, and that should take care of all of our coupons. I'm going to buy all. And now, if we look in our inventory, our coupons are gone, but if I press the build menu, you'll see over here now we have a customizer. That came because we just did that Awesome Shop milestone. But over here we have architecture, and now I have industrial rails. If you look in the power, we have our new connector outlets, which can connect to walls. Can connect one side of the wall. We can go from one side of the wall to the other side of the wall. We now have our conveyor ceiling mounts and our conveyor hole mounts. Anyway, hole floors. Which makes our bases a little cleaner when we want to go up and down using our conveyor lifts, which we haven't used as of yet, but we will soon. So, let's see, did we get any more coupons out of that? I got 1, but that's fine. We'll just let that churn. It's doing plates, and we will definitely hook all that up. But our freighter is back, and now we can send off for logistics 2. Which will give us, oops, no, I got enough rods. I started with short rods. Which will give us the ability to use Mark II belts. Mark II belts do 120 items a minute, which is really where I want to be when we actually start building out our bases. That's where I really want to start. So we'll send that guy off. With that sent off, I do want to go ahead and throw down a D&D down and dirty assembly of reinforced iron plates. I want to try to get that rolling pretty quick. And look at that, there's another thing we're going to want to research here. This is quartz. There are quartz mains and quartz ore around here. We'll want more of that for sure, but we can research that.
This mineral is composed of the same chemical
I've taken the topper off of this. Well, we will research that here in just a minute to kind of open up the quartz tree. quartz tree will give us some tools that will help us to actually run faster, which we do want. But right now we don't have enough quartz to do that. But let's go ahead and get our, oh yeah, we have our new belts. I'm gonna go ahead and put that on my toolbar, replace that, and I want to make number 4 of that, and I'll save that for that. Now I'm going to go ahead and let's drop down a miner, because we need to mine. Oops, get on the miner there. And let's go ahead and do, I'm going to drop a splitter here. Again, I'm not building this out nicely, because the goal here is just to get some reinforced iron plates working, so that we have enough for belts as we start to build out these bases that we're going to be building. Go ahead and put that in there. This does 120, and now our belts are doing 120, and that's good. I'll just go ahead and drop that in there because we don't need that right now. Now at 120, that, remember, our smelters will do 30 a minute, so 3 times 4, if I did my math correctly, is 120. So we will drop 4 of these guys here fairly quick. Kind of drop them side by side. Probably should have put some foundation down to make this just a little easier to line up, but that's okay. Again, this is just for purposes, for quick purposes. So let's make another splitter. Oops, that was a merger. Splitter. Go ahead and put this guy here. Kind of line him up a little bit. Again, this is a lot easier if you have your foundations. So go ahead and run that guy there, run that guy there, and run that guy there, and run this guy out of here. Go ahead and do a straight build because it's prettier, although this really shouldn't be pretty and it doesn't matter. Let's do another splitter. Alright, so now go ahead and get some quick power here. I was watching another video today of another Satisfactory guy, and he was showing a video of another Satisfactory guy, and his, he just threw everything down on the ground, and it was all spaghetti and what have you, and it was really entertaining and interesting looking. Let me just say it that way. It would drive me nuts to make my factories that way, but that was his choice, so more power to him. Alright, so here we're going to go ahead and make these iron ingots. Remember, you can copy, Control C as in cat. You go to the next one, Control V as in victory, Control V, Control V. And so now we should be starting to smelt once I get power to these guys. Now I'm going to merge all these together real quick, and we will go ahead and go that way for now. I probably should have just laid some foundations and just made this plant, but I didn't. I don't know why, but I didn't. But that's okay. Again, like I said before, I kind of wing it here. I really just want to get some of these guys built so that we have enough for belts for everything that we're going to do as we begin to really move forward. Did I just put splitters down there? Splitters are no good. There's a way to do this without having to replace them. I just can never remember what it is. So let me go ahead and hook these guys up. Alright, so now we're making ingots, and then we're gonna have to make to make reinforced iron plates. We need screws and we need plates. So what we're gonna do is we're just going to go ahead and drop a couple of constructors here. I'm gonna do like 2 of these guys, and this is not going to be an efficient plant, just so you know off the top of my just so you know now. Go ahead and move these things so I can see a little bit better, and let's go ahead and get some splitters lined up here. I want to take input from that side, and then we will go over to this guy, and so we will go ahead and hook all these guys up. Remember to power as I ride along the belt. Yeehaw! I might have to move this guy. I might not. Oh, it worked. Okay. I didn't think it would connect. So now let's go ahead and hook all of these guys up with our splitters. Now remember I told you those guys kind of wander through our base from time to time and do get in the way. He's not going to get in the way at the moment, but sometimes they do. Alright, so now what should happen is we need to come out of there and into there. Can't make it straight. Oh well, it doesn't matter because this is just a quick and dirty base here. So now when I turn this on, let's make sure I get these all configured. Whoops, I can't make screws with that one because I got to make rods. Let's make rods, and let's make rods, and then let's make plates, because in order to make reinforced iron plates we need plates and screws. So now let's go ahead and merge up our screws. Let's go ahead and put this guy here, and again all of this is going to be torn down. I'm just kind of getting it set up so that we can let it run for a little bit and we can actually get some more of these belts, these plates, these reinforced iron plates, so we don't have to make them by hand anymore as we build out our bases, because we're going to tear down that iron base, we're going to tear down that concrete base, we don't have to tear down our copper base because we kind of got it started, but we will have to add to our copper base because I want to get copper sheets going here, and then we'll actually get to the biomass burner. And I keep saying we're going to get to the biomass burner. Hopefully we'll get to it this episode. I guess we'll see where we end up. Alright, so let's go ahead and get a merger here, put the output that direction, take the output of this guy into that guy, merge our plates together. And I tell you what I'm going to do, because this is going to overrun our constructor. I am going to go ahead and drop a storage container in front of our plates, in front of our screws, if I can get it lined up. There we go. So now if there's any overflows, you know what, I can't do the screws just yet because I forgot it. I got to put more constructors here for screws. I forgot. That's my bad. So let me go ahead and remove these guys real quick, and then we will get our screws in place. I don't have cast screws yet, so I forgot. I really want cast screws, if you hadn't figured that out. So we'll get another constructor in front of this one, put another constructor in front of this one, hook that up, hook that up. This is making screws, and it takes 10 per minute, and so I'm going to go ahead and set this to be 10 a minute, so at least it'll be somewhat efficient. Not completely efficient, but it'll be somewhat. Go ahead and hook power over to this guy, hook the power to, where did our pole go in here, between here and there? There's behind it. Alright, so then get back to our screw production. Let's make screws here, and let's go ahead and sort that. Go ahead and get out of the way, and go ahead and make this 10 as well. We can fine tune this a bit. It's not going to be 100% efficient, but it'll be somewhat efficient. Alright, so now we should have screws here and screws here. We'll have 80 a minute coming out, and over here we'll have how many are going to come out of here? We're going to have 20. We have two of them, so we'll have 40 a minute coming out and going into our storage container. Let's go ahead and drop a storage container and some mergers in front of our quick and dirty screw production. Let's go ahead and put this guy right here. Kind of line that up. Kind of roughly line that up. Alright, get these screws merging into our container. Oh, get the container. Green to orange. Out of this, into that. So now, let's go ahead and get some power running to it real quick. We'll grab that power pole. Nope, that doesn't have any extra space. Is this one? Alright, we have extra space on that one. So we'll run it to that one. And so if I've got everything hooked up, and I don't, let me hook power over to this guy, and then everything should go at least green or yellow. So we got this guy making our iron or mining. These guys making our ingots. These guys making. Oop, this guy's not connected. These two right here making rods, and the two in front of them making screws from those rods. These two are making plates, and those should be coming out and going into our storage containers. And of course, you got to hook these things up in order for them to be actually spitting out stuff. So the rod should be going there. We should be all right. So while that's banking up, I'm going to go and drop since this guy's right here, we'll go ahead and put our assembler over here, kind of make it wonky. For now, we'll drop an assembler here. We'll put it, sure, right there. Take our place out of there. Take our screws, oops, get my screws out of there. And we will just kind of run it up there. Not pretty by any means. Drop this down here somewhere. I thought it was a pole somewhere. Get us to a power pole somewhere. All right. So now this is not configured yet, but that's okay. I'm going to drop again, this is ugly. We're going to go, oops, let me pull out our storage. And we will kind of line this up so we can start to bank up some reinforced iron plates. So we'll look at the reinforced iron plates. Takes 12 screws, oh excuse me, it takes 60 screws a minute. It takes 30 plates a minute. Pretty soon and pretty quickly we will overflow our production over there. And because of that, these things will back up. This storage containers will be using that. I tell you what, I'm going to take a look at this from the air. So here is an aerial view of our D&D quick and dirty, down and dirty reinforced iron plate assembly. So let's kind of start over here. We have our miner feeding our smelters feeding our initial set of constructors. These are all going to overflow and back up because I do not have them tuned right. And that's okay because this will all be torn down. But these two constructors are making rods. These two constructors are making plates. These two constructors are making screws from the rods. We're storing the plates up in case we do overflow the lines for a little bit. And same way with the screws, we're kind of backing those up. But then all of that's coming out and going into our assembler. And our assembler is over here making us reinforced iron plates. And there's our little lizard doggo, which we still don't have the right thing to get him. We got to get a paleberry so we can kind of make him our friend. But anyway, I think you just saw, if you wait just a moment, you'll see the reinforced iron plate come out of the plant and go into the storage. So we're making reinforced iron plates. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. We're going to let that run a little bit to bank up some of those. And then we will be back. Alright, I thought while our reinforced iron plates were building and banking up over there, I thought we'd go ahead and research the quartz tree, at least open that up. We have 10 quartz. I believe that will be just enough to open the tree, but then that opens up crystal quartz and then some new stuff from the product shop and then some silica. And from silica we get these blade runners. That's what I want to get to. This will help us run around our bases faster, jump higher, do a bunch of stuff. But we need to find some more crystal, which we will hopefully do soon. And then if we get 600 silica, we will get more inventory slots, which is one of the reasons I didn't take the inventory slots when we found the hard drive. So there is one other thing I want to look at, and that's getting this rebar gun, because with the rebar gun it'll give us a little more defense against some of these critters out there who want to just put the hurt on us. So we're going to do some research on this, and then we will build one of these guys, and then maybe, do we have enough to build this as well? Well, I'll tell you what, we don't have enough of alien protein, so we'll just go ahead and build this and then see where we go from there.
You earned a micro break. And welcome back. I hope you feel refreshed.
It is so nice she gave us a micro break. It didn't fix it the best. Alright, to make the rebar gun, you have to go to the workshop, and do we have enough to make it? We do. So we will go ahead and make one of these because we only need one. Oops, how about I let it, oops, did it finish? I did finish, okay, I thought I hit it too soon. But here's our rebar gun. We'll go ahead and drop it in inventory. We don't have any ammo for it. To create ammo, we also have to go to the equipment shop, and that's iron rebar. So I will craft 100 of these is in a stack, so I'll craft 100 and probably 100 of these, and then we'll be right back. I have crafted 105 of our iron rebar, so let's go ahead and equip our rebar gun. Doesn't have any ammo in it. Press R to reload, so we'll press R, and there's our rebar in it, and we'll shoot this little container here. Nothing exciting is going to happen. But you can use it against these animals that just want to put the hurt on you. Probably use it on that guy, but he's not doing any damage, and I don't want to hurt him. He is, like I said, they wander through your bases. Sometimes they get in the way. If you remember, if you switch to your little poker tool, you can, your Xeno Zapper, you click them and they run away like, oh no, but it feels kind of mean too sometimes, but they do get in the way. Was there anything else I wanted to do right now? I think that's it for now. I'm trying to time these episodes to be a little shorter, trying to keep them in the 20 to 30 minute time range, so there'll be a little more videos, but they'll be a little shorter and hopefully a little more consumable. So when we come back, let's go ahead and load up the next milestone, which is jump pads. We're not going to actually use those just yet, or create those just yet. I'll probably between now and then create some more rotors and handcraft some of those for now, because we don't need to automate that just yet. And then we'll see where we go from there. And I promise you, we are going to automate our biomass production and biomass plant. I'm going to try to make that the focus of the next episode. In the meantime, hopefully you've liked what you've seen. If you have, give us a thumbs up. If you really like it, subscribe and follow us. Appreciate that. Leave your comments, your thoughts, your ideas, your criticisms. I mean, I take those because I do want to try to get better at this game, but be nice about it, because again, we're here to have fun and enjoy building stuff, so, and hopefully learning from each other. So if you will, go out there and go automate, and until next time.